week 13, and instead of a coach getting fired, a coach got hired. Hey, it's the Ant-Man. It's Brandon. We're hanging here without Dalton Miller this week. He's back coaching he's doing his regular job. You know, somebody has to work around here.
Right.
Week 13 of the MidWeek College Football Breakdown as well. Had a fun game over the weekend. Well, fun only now because we won. But man, I was watching the A&M game for a friend who was out of the country, so I kind of had to keep track of it. And then I kind of got emotionally invested in that game, and that took a lot of emotion. And then I had the Oklahoma game, and I was wore out by the time primetime game started. Brandon, how did it feel for you?
I mean, the same, absolutely the same. I watched that game. Well, that's not true. I went golfing with my son early in the morning on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
So we got home. There was about 5 minutes left in the second half. And I was like, what the heck?
What happened?
And
you're talking about the A&M game.
Yeah. So I didn't really pay attention. And then in the last 56 seconds of the half, A&M scored 10 points. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, they're up 30-3 at halftime. And then, you know, that historic comeback that we'll talk about a little bit more later, but
that's right.
Absolutely crazy. And then obviously watching the OU Alabama game, then watching the Texas Georgia game. It was, you know, I've said this multiple times, and I've told a couple of people at work this today. Like, I had a great football weekend because typically my best football weekends are when OU wins, Texas loses, and Alabama loses. Hey, we knocked two of those out with one game, and the other one was just icing on the cake at that point. So
thank you, George.
It was a really good college football weekend for me, and I don't feel like I did that great in my picks, but it was a really good college football weekend for me emotionally and as a person. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, Dalton did beat you in your picks. We'll get to that a little bit later on as well. I think, you know, fighting with your spouse about football is dumb, but I had told my wife that we had a Friendsgiving at a friend's house. I said, what time does it start? She said 5. And I go, okay, well, I'm going to be late because the Oklahoma game's at 2:30. And I don't know that actually translated when I said it, because coming around 5:10, she's like, okay, you ready to go? And I'm like, no, I'm not. There's a quarter left. Like, so we're not going to be over there for another hour? I was like, it appears so. And then we kind of got, and I ended up leaving. And so when you guys told me, we saw the text going, everyone, I looked at my phone again. I was like, cool. And at that time I was done fighting. I was done being invested. I just left and moved on and just made peace with the rest of the day. But it was nice to see that we came out on top on Saturday. I mean, listen, the game's over at, when it was over, I shared the same house with her. I chose her instead of the games, the peace here at home.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it, I guess.
It's the long-lasting way to look at it. So that's what it is. B, you want to share some good? I mean, we don't usually the good, bad, and the ugly on the Oklahoma game, but I feel like we've got some of that here. How are you feeling on this?
Man, okay. So this is going a little bit off the cuff, but because this was not in my script that you sent me.
It wasn't.
Or in my rundown that you sent me. Yeah. But honestly, the good to me is, I mean, twofold. It's the defense and the special teams.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. I've heard so many people this week say already in like the last 2 days watching podcasts and seeing posts and listening to stuff. I've heard so many people say, oh, well, it's just a fluke that Alabama had 3 turnovers. But if you look at every one of those turnovers, we caused them.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was just a tipped pass by a wide receiver that missed a pass and it happened to end up. We caused every one of them with pressure and punching out the balls and sacks. And we caused all of them. So, I mean, the one on Ryan Williams, what a beautiful punch out on that punt return.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't think I've seen us even attempt that all season long. I've seen other teams, but it doesn't feel like I've seen us do that.
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of the post-game player interviews still in Bryant-Denny Stadium in Alabama, and they're just all standing on the field way after everybody's left and they're getting ready to get on the bus, but and there was multiple ones on the defense that was like, this was an absolute bullet point for us all week. It was stressed all week.
Nice.
Create turnovers. Don't get lucky off of turnovers.
Yep.
Create turnovers by being where you're supposed to be and doing what you're supposed to do. And they were able to do that so well. I mean, every turnover was literally forced. You had the bad pass that was forced by Kip Lewis almost blowing up Ty Simpson and ended up hitting him after the pass, but not ended up in the pick six for Eli Bowen. You had Taylor Wine just completely annihilating Ty Simpson in the backfield when he went to throw that ball and knocking the ball out. You had I can't remember Jordan, whatever his name is. He's the freshman. But you had him punching the ball out of Ryan Williams' hands on the punt return, which was, not even almost. I think it may be the most perfect punch out that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Literally has him wrapped up with his left arm. He knows he's not getting anywhere, just punches right down on the ball. And there's no way to hold on to that at that point.
Yeah.
And we forced them all. I honestly think our special teams and our defense was, the good in this game. The bad in this game, you probably know where I'm going with this one, but the bad in this game was just the offense in general.
You just play calling. You could say that as well.
Play calling, execution. Like we had a couple of dropped passes.
Yeah.
We had a couple of fumbles that we got away with that we ended up not losing. We didn't end up with a turnover on the day.
Happy feet.
Literally, huh?
Happy feet, Mateer.
Oh man, he was definitely happy feet. But listen, you read down this list. I'm looking at it right here. You read down this list of team stats.
Yeah.
And until you get to the last 2-3 lines of it, Alabama outscored us or had 23 first downs to our 12. They went 5 for 13, and we went 3 for 13 on third down conversions. Alabama went 2 for 3, better in that category. Alabama had 406 total yards to our 212 total yards. They threw for 326 total yards to our 138 total yards. They averaged 7.8 yards per pass. We averaged 6.0 yards per pass. They rushed for 80 yards. We rushed for 74. You just keep going down the list, and none of it makes sense. They had 2 penalties for 25 yards. We had 5 for 37 yards. Then you get to the next line. We had 0 turnovers, and we forced 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
So Alabama coming into this game was number 1 in the country in turnover disparity. So they always caused way more turnovers than they created.
Yeah.
Or they always created way more than they had. Let's say it like that. We caused the turnovers. Defense and special teams was the bad for me. I don't really know that there is an ugly. Maybe you have one. If you have one,
it wasn't Tate Sandel's pants this time for Herb Street's case. But
it definitely was. And the GOAT can wear whatever size pants he wants. In my opinion,
he can go on a thong. That's fine with me. If you kick like that, and it can, you can fit the knee pads in there. I think somewhere, as long as you still have them. But the whole deal of we have, and we're going to talk about Missouri in a little bit, but man, I think if I was Missouri and with the possibility of our Mason Thomas coming back and then a defense that played like they did against Tennessee and against Alabama, I'd have a lot to be worried about if I was Mizzou.
Yeah. It sounds like they're going to end up giving their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, Bo Pribula. It sounds like he's probably going to start and he's going to try it.
That's right.
After his ankle injury that some thought was originally, everybody thought it was broken. It ended up just being ligament damage, but he's 3 weeks away, not having to have surgery on it. He's 3 weeks past his injury. So they're acting like he's going to give it a go and see what happens. If I'm him,
110.
If I'm him, I mean, I'm having the runs or something that day. I'm like, Coach, I can't go.
I think so, dude.
I don't think anybody wants to play this OU defense right now.
And that's fine if they do, but is that really, if I like say we're Mizzou fans and we're rooting for them, is that the one you want to test him out on? Is against Oklahoma's defense, really?
No.
I mean, come on. I just wonder if they actually do. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when it gets here. But it sounds, I mean, from everything I've heard today, it sounds like Drinkwitz is talking about starting him on Saturday, and we'll see what happens.
I just we'll get to Drinkwitz in a minute. We'll get to Mizzou. I'll give my feelings on that here a little bit. Good, bad, and the ugly. We got some other games we got to hit. And we mentioned this one a little bit. The the A&M South Carolina game on Saturday. Man, that looked devastating. And even you and Dalton had brought it before that it feels like Alabama. Why do I keep saying A&M continues to? Every year they have one that they drop, and then the rest of the season is just trash. And I heard from some A&M fans that's battered Aggie syndrome is how they kind of describe it, is that they're doing well.
That's my initials. That's cool.
They feel like that they are doing well, and then they just get battered for the rest of the season. And it looked like this might be the one. Originally, it looked like Arkansas was going to be the game for A&M. And then it really looked like this one against South Carolina was going to be the one for A&M. And I'll be dadgum, it's not the biggest comeback in A&M history. Good, bad, and ugly. Where do you want to start here on this one?
Well, let me just start out by saying I think this was that game that they always falter and it looks horrible and it goes downhill from there, and they ended up winning it. Yeah. So, I mean, they play like Samford or something this week, and
Samford and Son.
Yeah. And then next week on Thanksgiving, they have, the renewal, the second year renewal of the Texas A&M game. And so
in Austin.
It's in Austin, but I don't think Texas can beat them. I just don't think Texas can. But I think this was that game that we always talk about, and that I have mentioned and Dalton has mentioned several times. We always say A&M always has one of those games every year where they lose and they're not supposed to. I think this was that game, and they ended up winning it. But let's go to the stats a little bit. The good, I mean, honestly, was just A&M's ability to put their head down after halftime and play the football that they played all year. I mean, they gave up over 300 yards to South Carolina, had 2 missed field goals. Marcel Reed threw 2 picks. They lost a fumble that was returned for a touchdown, and they went into halftime down 30-3. I mean, you read all that. I'm going to read it all a little bit slower. They gave up over 300 yards of total offense.
Yep.
They had 2 missed field goals. Marcel Reed threw 2 picks and was sacked for a scoop and score.
Yeah.
And they went into halftime 30-3. In the second half, Marcel Reed goes 16 for 20 for 298 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And leads Texas A&M to 4 consecutive touchdowns to start the second half. 4 consecutive drives. At the end of the third quarter, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but at the end of the third quarter, I texted this in the Brain Trust chat. It was like third quarter was 280 yards for A&M and like 47 for South Carolina. I mean, then you go to the defensive side of the ball that had given up 30 points in the first half, albeit a lot of it off of turnovers and short fields and stuff like that. But defense gives up 76 total yards and pitches a shutout in the second half. I mean, to me, that's the good
games.
It was 100% 2 totally different games. And that's why I'm saying I think this was that game that Texas A&M has every year.
Yeah.
The bad, even in all this, even in the amazing second half that Texas A&M's offense have, is they rushed for 64 yards on 29 carries in this game. Even in the second half, they only averaged 2.2 yards per carry, which is insane for a team that's this good.
Right.
2.2 yards per carry. And a lot of it was they didn't I mean, they still rushed the ball 29 times. I don't know that I can say that. I was going to say a lot of it is they were having to throw the ball to get back in the game because they were so far down, but they still ran the ball 29 times.
Yeah, they did
29 times for 64 yards and barely averaged just over two yards a carry.
Yeah.
The ugly in this one for me is South Carolina is just a raging dumpster fire.
Yeah.
You can't give up that halftime lead if you're South Carolina and Shane Beamer. I mean, I'm shocked he hadn't lost his job, honestly, after this game already. He still has a job. Sounds like they may be moving on from some, assistant coaching or some coordinators or something, but that hasn't come out yet. That's just kind of the scuttlebutt that I've heard in a couple of different, podcasts and stuff. But they're 3-7 overall, 1-7 in the SEC. You got up 30-0 on the number 3 team in the country at Kyle Field. And then you come out in the second half and you just puke down your shirt like you are having the worst hangover you've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly thought he'd be fired on Saturday. If it was me, he might have not got back on the team flight. But, I mean, I can't believe he hadn't been fired. These two teams are going in 2 totally different directions. And, I mean, A&M is one to be reckoned with, for sure.
You talked about it being a dumpster fire there at South Carolina. Maybe the dumpster fire that was at Clemson just rolled over into the South Carolina parking lot, and Clemson took off because they won against Louisville this weekend. We're not going to jump into that game here on this, but that was nice to see. I mean, just for the sake of Clemson and who they are and what they do. That's a good win. That was a good win.
Yeah, they're still a bad team, but
it is. Yeah, it was just a little fire extinguisher, or just like I said, maybe they just pushed the dumpster over to the South Carolina park.
No doubt.
Next game, good, bad, and ugly, is University of Georgia and Texas. They played between the hedges this weekend, and that did not look like the team that the media wants Texas to be so badly. Just will not develop this year, will they?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, Texas. I mean, I'm just going to get into it. I'll talk about it all throughout this. My good in this game was Gunnar Stockton. Dude was 24 for 29 for 229 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Led the offense to 3 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter when it was 14-10 going into the fourth quarter. He's not a flashy player, and his stats aren't just going to wow you. I mean, 24 for 29 is a great completion percentage, but for 229 yards is not a lot of yardage. But 4 touchdowns in the air and 1 on the ground. I mean, he just knows how to win. He seems to be able to step up in big game moments. He seems to be able to fight adversity, I guess, and just be like, I'm Gunnar Stockton. It's all right. I play for Georgia. We're going to win. I mean, and it's just what Georgia's done all year too. I mean, they don't play good in the first half or in the first 3 quarters. They're having to come from behind a lot. They didn't have to come from behind in this game, but I mean, it was just a typical Georgia game. And then the fourth quarter came in and boom, 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 touchdown, 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 up 35-10. And this one's over.
Yeah.
That's just what Georgia's done all year. And I kind of feel like Georgia is doing this as the season goes on, where there's been a couple times that they've done this trajectory and then they have to level back out. And I think they're peaking at the right time. They're playing really good football. Yeah. The bad in this was Texas's rushing game in this was absolutely abysmal. 17 rushes for 23 yards, averaging 1.4 yards per carry. I mean, Texas kept the game close going into the fourth quarter, but they couldn't sustain anything in the fourth quarter to try to keep Georgia's offense off the field, and Georgia's offense was on fire. So, I mean, you've got to be able to rush for more than that if you're a good team, and I know they're not – I mean, at some point they're having to just throw the ball a lot, but then they're having to deal with Arch Manning and his inconsistencies that he's had. I mean, he may turn out to be a fine quarterback, He is not going to be what any of the other Mannings that played on Sunday were. He's not going to come close to those. Yeah. He may turn out to be a fine quarterback, but he just has not shown the consistency or anything close to the amount of, I don't even know how to say this. He just hasn't felt like he's there.
Yeah.
2 games coming into this, he threw for over 300 yards in both of them. And so we thought, oh, maybe this is going to be a good – Georgia's defense was just too ready. That's how Kirby Smart is, which leads me to the ugly. I said Texas couldn't stay on the field and keep any drives going. Nothing sustained. They were 2 for 12 on third down conversions in this game.
Oh, 2 for 12.
2 for 12. They couldn't run the ball effectively most times, so they were ending up in third and mediums to third and longs on every third down conversion.
Yeah.
And Kirby Smart defenses, they just feast on third and medium, third and long. Yeah. Like that is like setting a whole pizza in front of one of these offensive linemen and it's gone in 30 seconds, right? I mean, Texas also had 9 penalties again. This has been a recurring theme for Texas, who is just not disciplined. 4 of those called back plays that would have resulted in first downs, and then they end up 2 for 12 on third down conversions. It could have been 5 for 12, at least if you got 3 of those 4. Could have been 6 for 12, which is 50% if you got all 4 of them. But it's 2 for 12 because you can't quit having the penalties. They just got to be more disciplined. Texas has been struggling with that all year, and I don't think it's going to stop. That's why I don't really think they have a chance even at home to beat A&M. I know that's a rivalry game, and anything can happen in those games. So I can't say they don't have a chance, but I'm giving it a very, very small chance at this point.
Well, and that's funny. That's still a conversation that it seems the media wants to have, is how Texas can still make it to the playoffs. It's like
0 chance.
At this point, why are you fighting so hard for Texas to be in? Although Dalton did leave us message today and said, I want so badly for Texas to win out and we see him in the playoffs.
I just don't. It's not going to happen. I think they had to lose that Georgia. If they were going to lose the Georgia game and then beat A&M to get in, I think they needed to lose that at 14-10, or it needed to be a close game. And now it's a blowout, and you're like, no, they can't compete.
Yeah. Agreed. It's very interesting, and the thoughts on Manning are unfair to him in a lot of aspects. Is that he is a good quarterback, but they want him to be a Manning quarterback. And it can be a curse for that guy, that he maybe he could be a good or really, really good quarterback if the expectation wasn't for him to be the god of quarterbacks when the season started. And they really, the whole produced piece into the very first game was just obscene. And why you would do that to a kid like that. And I get he's born into the family, and he's probably overcome a lot already in the aspect of, hey, not living off of your name. But boy, they don't ever let up. And it just, like, I might entertain, adopting a name, just come up with a nickname and that's what you go by. It has nothing to do with Manning, like maybe AntMan. We have one more game for good, bad, and ugly. You can't have AntMan, just by the way. Ole Miss versus Florida. Now, I thought it was interesting here is that Ole Miss, Florida's kind of been the litmus for people's like, well, can you get past Florida? And if they give you a run for your money, you're probably not a great team. We know Ole Miss is a great team, but man, some of this game didn't really feel like they were a great team. What's your good and bad and ugly here?
My good, bad, and ugly, we'll just start with the good. I didn't watch all of this game. I did flip back and forth between this game and the Georgia-Texas game some, but Keywan Lacey, the running back at Ole Miss, just exploded in this game. I think he set a single season record for rushing touchdowns for the school already. He had 224 yards on 31 carries, averaged 7.2 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Their offense was clicking for a lot of this game, and it's crazy because Florida kept this really close. I feel like Ole Miss just kind of picked their spots and was able to be successful in those certain spots. Trinidad Chambliss also added 301 yards through the air and a touchdown. So I mean, just between those two, they had 525 yards on the day. Just between Trinidad Chambliss and Keywan Lacey. Ole Miss offense got working when it needed to, made plays when it needed to, and that was the story of that game. The bad was Florida's offensive production in the second half. I mean, in the first half, they look great. I shouldn't say great, but they're up 24-20 at halftime. And then they just crap down their leg again. Their second half, they couldn't stay on the field. Their second half drives in this game were 4 plays, 3 plays, 11 plays, which ended in a turnover on downs and only went like 43 yards, and then 4 plays and 4 plays. Those were their second half drives. They had one drive that was more than 4 plays, and it was 11 plays, and for 40-something yards. I mean, that's just bad. I mean, which leads me to the ugly. I mean, Florida's program is just struggling right now. I have a good buddy here named Jeff. Jeff, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You know I was rooting for you. But I have a good buddy here named Jeff that I play volleyball with, and he really would have rather had Napier stay on at least for the rest of the season. But there's just no stability in this Florida program right now. I mean, Billy Napier getting fired, a couple weeks back, 3 weeks back, whatever it was, and so much talk about who the next head coach is going to be. Throwing in Lane Kiffin. A lot of people think Lane Kiffin's going to go there, and he keeps shooting it down, saying, I'm an Ole Miss guy. I love it at Ole Miss. I'm not going to take the Florida job, whatever, which we heard that from Lincoln Riley, too. He wasn't taking the LSU job, remember, and ended up going to USC. But it's just seasons like this that typically result in coach firings, whatever, set programs back 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of where Florida's at right now. And that's the ugly for me, because it's going to be interesting to see who Florida hires, how soon they can get their program installed, how soon they can get recruits on track with what they're doing and start pulling recruits in. I think Florida is a really good job. I don't think Florida is one of the elite, top 5, top 8 jobs in the country. But I think Florida can be a really good job if you get the right coach in place and you get the right system set in.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. And there's a lot of opportunity there too. I mean,
there is.
You talk about recruiting. If you have some money, it's a great place to be as a college student.
No doubt.
That's a good place. If I had any talent in sports when I was that age and got recruited to Florida, man, that'd have been an easy yes. Even living in Oklahoma. I mean, that's definitely, you go to Florida and hang out there. That'd be a good job for somebody. When Lincoln came to Oklahoma, that'd be that type of coach would be a good one for Florida.
Yeah, I agree.
Coming, that's really good. A lot of potential behind him. Could go there and do some really good things.
I mean, Jeff doesn't like. I was texting with Jeff during the game, and he doesn't like the idea of Lane Kiffin coming. Which I kind of think a little bit is crazy, because I do think Lane Kiffin is an offensive guru. Yeah. But
he also floats everywhere, it feels like. So how long would you have him?
Right. So I don't know. He's not excited about the thought, and I just see the thought as being like, oh man, that could be really fun if he went there. No. But he's like, we almost beat him. Why do we want him? Was his thought.
Yeah. So, well, I will say this, there's lots to choose from this year. So there's plenty of coaches without jobs.
Yeah, there's plenty of fired coaches. Which one of them do you want?
We have, while other people are playing Sanford and Jabroni Junior College this weekend, Oklahoma's playing Mizzou. We're finishing out the last 2 games this season at home. Missouri, the first one, 11 o'clock this Saturday.
Hang on. You can't say Jabroni Junior College and not do your eyebrow thing.
That's right.
There you go. There's the rock eyebrow.
You smell what I'm cooking.
Right.
Oklahoma Mizzou's at 11 o'clock on ABC this Saturday. Looking forward to this game. Man, that's okay. We have the kicker set. Sandell's good. We have the defense feels good, and I'm guessing that everything's looking like R. Mason Thomas will be back for the defense. Does that look good on your end, or what you're hearing?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really talked about it yet. The first availability report doesn't come out until Wednesday night. So, I mean, we'll see it then. They haven't really said a whole lot, but I'm kind of thinking that he's going to be back. And, I mean, Williams, I just blanked on his first name, but Jalen Williams, our other defensive tackle. I mean, he played very sparingly early in the game on Saturday and then didn't play. So it'd be nice to get him healthy. Also be nice to get Gentry Williams back.
So say we have all that in place for Saturday. What do we need to be looking for as far as a stumbling block for Oklahoma this Saturday?
I mean, Missouri's defense is 10th overall in the FBS. So our offense is 90th in FBS. So they're only giving up passing 169.9 yards a game. And they played some good teams. They played A&M. They played Alabama. You know, they played some of these teams. And they're only giving up averaging 170 yards a game, basically. We're going to have to do something on offense. I'm not worried about defense at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Missouri's offense ranks 21st in D1 in total yards per game at 450. But, I mean, we've proved it, and I'm not afraid to say it. We're the best defense in the SEC.
Yeah.
By far. Nobody wants a piece of us.
Yep.
And I know during the games, it's kind of funny because I look back on our text strings, and during the games, I get so pissed at whatever Brent does on this play or that play or whatever for a 1 or 2 play stretch. And, but then you look back at it overall, and you may give up the yards, but get down inside the 30 and figure out how to score on us. And if you don't have a field goal kicker that can kick, then you're in trouble because you're not getting in the end zone a whole lot against us. I mean, we're giving up 14.8 points a game.
Yeah.
We ranked 8th in the country in that. Rushing yards, we're giving up 82.2. They do have, what's his name? What's their running back's name? Hardy. They do have Hardy, and they do have a good rushing defense or rushing offense. They're averaging 241 yards on the ground.
All right.
But that doesn't scare me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're just going to move us around. We have the best defensive line in the country, and we go 10 deep when everybody's healthy.
With 2 defenses like this too, it could leave the game in Sandell's hands, and I feel really good about that too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want it, but I feel good about it.
I don't want it either. I don't want it to come down to a last-second kick, but I really just don't think it will. I mean, even if Bo Pribula comes back, and we've talked about that a little bit. I mean, they're talking about, you know, it sounds like he might at least give it a try to start the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he was completing 70% of his passes, but he threw 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in the games that he started. Like, you know, then you go to Matt Zollers, and he's only completing 53% of his passes.
Okay.
4 touchdowns and 1 interception. I mean, Pribula is also sacked 17 times, excuse me. And Zollers has been sacked 5 times in the 2 starts that he's made. So, I mean, our defense is just so aggressive in the front, and I don't see it during the game a lot. I get frustrated with it, like I said. But our defense, I watched the thing today, and I can't remember what podcast it is, or I would plug it right here. But it's a dude that basically breaks down defenses and offenses.
Okay.
Maybe it's the film guy, because I've started watching some of his stuff. It may be called the film guy.
Okay.
And he just kind of breaks down where OU attacks from every angle in the defense. And when they figure out something that works, they just keep doing it. Like Kip Lewis.
Until you stop it.
Literally got pressure up the middle on Ty Simpson, like on 8 plays. Because Alabama couldn't figure it out, and it's coming right up the middle. But we do different things with our rush ins and our D tackles and another linebacker or safety coming down. It's just so complex that a lot of these guys in the college level haven't seen anything like it before. And I know last year we really complained that his defense was too hard. Like it's too hard for whoever to learn.
Yeah.
Because there's just certain games where we just look completely lost. But I mean, I don't worry about our defense. We got to figure out how to score points. That's the deal. We can't rely on our defense to score touchdowns every week. Or we can't rely on our special teams to have, 30, 40, 50-yard returns that put us in field goal range before we even snap the ball.
Yeah.
We have to be able to sustain some kind of drive. And to do that, we're going to have to be able to run the ball. We didn't prove we could do it against Alabama. We may be able to do it against Missouri. I mean, Missouri's rushing defense, though, is 17th in the country. They're giving up almost 105 yards a game. But that is not a lot, 17th in the country. So we're going to have to figure out a way to move the ball. We're going to have to do some stuff that works. And I will say, as much as I liked what Mateer was doing before his injury, the ability for him to show what he's been able to show after the injury, just in learning how to manage the game. I mean, and throw for what was it? I had the stat pulled up earlier, but throw for 138 yards in a game against Alabama.
Yeah,
where they throw for 200 yards more than that, basically. Yeah. And you still come out with the win because you just were able to keep enough plays alive and get enough stuff done to give your defense some rest and play that complementary football. If he can figure out a way to do that and our offense can figure out a way to run the ball against Missouri, I mean, I think we'll win this by a couple of scores.
Well, looking ahead, a better line will make him feel much more comfortable. We can do that in the off season and get him a better line for next season. I think and keep a defense like we have now. I think we get Tate again next year if he doesn't leave for Bentley, that he gets somewhere else. Then he may. We may have just a fantastic team next season. I was looking at something that Dalton had sent to us earlier, and he said you can go ahead and reiterate how I think it's ridiculous. Notre Dame can be a 2-loss team guarantee into the playoffs. The next two games they play are against 3-win teams. He's exactly right. That is dumb. But he is also the one who picked them to win this past week, which put him, just for the week, put him ahead of you. Now he's nowhere near ahead of you in the total. But that's the only one that he picked different than you did and got that one right with what Notre Dame's win over Pitt this past weekend. You +4, him +5 puts you at 77, Dalton at 69. I have his picks for this week, so I'll give you what we're looking at here and tell you what he picks when it's his turn. Let's start off in our picks with Arkansas versus Texas. I didn't write that one down. I knew what it was. Hang on a second. Arkansas versus Texas. Start with UB.
Texas plays Arkansas this week. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they play Arkansas. That was the thing. It's like everybody. That was the Jabroni Junior College I was referring to, I think, because you have Stanford for A&M, and then we play Mizzou. I'm like, come on.
I mean, I'm going to go Texas. I think they can beat Arkansas. I don't think Arkansas is that good.
Yeah,
but I mean, Arkansas is definitely not that good. I mean, I think they're 2-8 on the season. Texas is going to win that game for sure.
That's what Dalton had as well, Texas winning that one. Next game is Louisville versus SMU. Dalton has Louisville winning this one. And, man, after I kind of thought that they were going to win last week's against Clemson. Clemson coming back and winning that game. How are you feeling about this one against SMU?
Yeah, I think we're going to go different on this one. I think I'm going to go with SMU on this one. Okay. Not for any reason than I just think they're playing pretty decent ball right now, and I'm gonna take SMU for sure.
Okay. Next one, USC versus Oregon. Who you got here?
Man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go USC. I don't really know why, but I'm gonna pick USC. I think they're gonna score points. It's just whether Oregon can keep up with them or not.
Just your gut. That's good.
Yeah, it's just kind of a gut feeling.
USC for Dalton as well. Next up, you've got Kentucky versus Vandy. Kentucky heading down to Nashville. Dalton picking Vandy to win this one. How you feeling here?
Yeah, give me Vandy.
Vandy as well.
Give me Vandy. Diego Pavia is rolling, especially in Nashville. I mean, they're going to be good. Give me Vandy.
Next one up, it is Pitt versus Georgia Tech.
Ooh, I'm going to go Georgia Tech. I feel like they're probably playing the best ball in the ACC right now. And I think Georgia Tech, Haynes King, those guys, I think are going to win that one.
I think so too. Dalton picked Georgia Tech as well. Next up, Tennessee versus Florida. This has been a rivalry in the past. This is how's it going to feel this week, though? Who are you thinking?
Man, I think Florida got deflated. I think Tennessee's offense is going to come in trying to make a statement in this game. I'm going to pick Tennessee.
Yep. Same for Dalton. Last one, BYU versus Cincinnati.
Oh, geez. This is a tough one.
Yeah. Right.
I really want to pick Cincinnati, but something about the Mormons is just I really want them to lose, but every time I think they're going to lose, they don't. Where's that game at?
It is in Cincinnati.
Give me Cincinnati.
Okay. I'll change it here.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to pull the upset in that one. I don't know why. Just another gut feeling. I got to quit going with my gut so much. Dalton's starting to catch up.
Brandon broke off the stare with those blue eyes and went with Cincy. Okay. Last one will be your lock. I'll give you Dalton.
Who did Dalton pick in that one?
Yeah. In that one, he picked BYU.
Okay.
Yeah. So y'all are different there. I'm going to let you do your lock first.
All right. Dude, I'm locking OU this week.
Oh, good.
I haven't done it all year. They're -7.5. I just think coming off that win, and this team is really set in right now to playing next game. Mm-hmm. They're not looking ahead to the college football playoff. Yep. They're not thinking that we got it after the Alabama game and the Tennessee game. They're not expecting a win. They're coming to work every week, and it's going to be back in Norman after it's been 3 weeks. No, it's been 4 weeks since they played there because we were at Tennessee, then off, then at Alabama. Yep. So it's been 4 weeks since we played in Norman. Home crowd's going to be going crazy because keep winning and you're in. I mean, that's it. Survive in advance. We win these next two. They can't keep us out of the playoffs. I don't care if we end up being the 6th SEC team in. They can't keep us out with wins at Tennessee and at Alabama if we win these next two. So I'm going to take OU -7.5.
We're pretty good at being loud at 11 too, which I like.
My house is going to be loud at 11. You can guarantee that.
Yeah.
I know the stadium is going to be loud too, but
you're there. If you're there, it's loud. So.
Well, especially during a football game, I guess. But even not during a football game, I'm just a loud person. But I am very loud during a football game.
Dalton's lock. He's picking the underdog USC +10.5. They are playing Oregon. Did you know I didn't realize that. Yeah, they're playing at Oregon, and USC are the dogs. So, so he's trying.
That is kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. Hang on, I was looking something up here. So Tate Sandell is a redshirt junior. We could really have him for another year.
2 more years after this year if he's a redshirt junior, right? Wouldn't that give us 2 more?
Yeah. So started in 22 and 23. Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, we may have the GOAT for a while, and he's just going to keep building on those GOAT stats. And, I mean,
then he can write his check to any pro team he wants to.
Right.
Yeah.
No
Make
doubt.
a few mil to hang out and kick about 6 times a game at the most.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oklahoma's 4 wins against ranked opponents is the most in the country. The Sooners have as many wins against ranked opponents as Ohio State and Indiana combined. There you go. Most in the entire country against ranked opponents.
Yeah, and we still have Missouri. Oh, no, right. Missouri's not ranked anymore.
They're not?
Not after this week. Not after last week.
Oh, okay. See, how about LSU? LSU's not ranked either, are they?
No, I don't think LSU's ranked either. So we're probably going to end up with 4.
Still.
But still, I mean, and we're not playing in the SEC championship. I think we're officially out of that because we've lost 2. And there's undefeated A&M. There's 1 loss Georgia. There's 1 loss Bama.
It'll probably
there's 1 loss Ole Miss.
More than likely, right?
Well, I mean, if A&M and Georgia both end up with only 1 loss, then Alabama and Georgia only end up with 1 loss. Alabama beat Georgia. Yeah. So the head-to-head would put them. I think it's almost assuredly Alabama and Texas A&M already.
Really? I mean, Alabama 2 losses right now. Don't they have 2?
But only one of them is SEC. They lost their opening week to Florida State. Yeah, they do also. This was an interesting story it's a great story, but it just came up today and I saw it on a podcast. But Auburn literally has a chance to maybe screw Alabama out of the complete playoffs at the end of the season because Auburn, Alabama play in the last game of the season. Alabama already has 2 losses. If they end up with 3 losses and the last one is to Auburn, they're probably not getting in. So we may have to cheer for Jackson Arnold or whatever crap quarterback they have at that point. So we can cheer for Auburn so Alabama gets out of the playoffs. But that could be really interesting too, because Alabama is almost assuredly into the SEC championship. But then if they lose to Auburn, they won't be.
No.
And then that'll probably knock them out of the playoffs as well. So I'll be cheering for Auburn in 2 weeks just for the complete mayhem of what college is.
Exactly.
Of what college football is, just for the absolute, blown up scenarios.
No kidding.
So that'll be interesting.
Fun. That's why we always think it. We have one in our group who loves the NFL, but everybody else agrees that college football is way better.
College football is king. He always says, that's always what he says, NFL is king.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You're a joke.
Not in emotion and spirit of figuring out how the structure of things. Sure. There's a lot of things that actually right now that college could take a cue from the NFL, especially with this NIL stuff. But everything else, atmosphere, love, passion, this craziness we got. No, it's way better in college football.
Well, and he's a Dolphins fan. Love you, Blake, but he's still a Dolphins fan. So,
this will be his second episode that he's watched if he watches this far.
Right. No kidding. No kidding. I guarantee he didn't watch this far if he watched at all.
No.
Well, I'm stoked about last week's win. Ready for next man up, next game up. Let's go get it on Saturday. You know what they say, right?
Yeah, the weekend is good.
But the midweek, it is always better.
And boom goes the dynamite.